Okay, hello everyone. Before discussing the QM method, today we will revise few of the important concepts that are required to find the minimum or simplified expression. So, we have already discussed how we will find the simplified expression using the K-map. Initially, during the classes, I have already told you that in order to find the minimum or simplified expression, we have to follow following three criterias. Firstly, we have to cover all the ones on the map, and we have to find out the minimum number of terms, and each term is having minimum number of literals. So basically we have used these three conditions in order to find the simplified expression. Okay, so basically we are using these three conditions initially, but after that we have introduced few important concepts, and we have defined three terms. One is implement, and then prime implicant, and then essential prime implicant. I have already discussed these three terms in details, but for revision, just what is implement? When a function is written in SOP form, then every product term is called an implicant. Also, if an implicant with minimum number of literals is called the prime implicants. We have already discussed how to find the implicant on the K-map, how to find the prime implicant on the K-map. Also, we have discussed what is essential prime implicant. Just suppose if a minterm is covered by only one prime implicant, in that case that PI is said to be essential prime implicant. Okay, so these three important concepts we have already discussed. Now after discussing these three concepts, how we will use these concepts in order to find the minimum expression. So what we are doing, so basically we have made one rule that a minimum number of, in order to find the minimum expression from a map, we must find a minimum number of PIs which cover all the ones on the map. Okay, so basically what we are saying here, all these three conditions are restated in form of prime implicants. So basically, uh, uh, with the help of this statement, a minimum number of PIs which cover all the ones on the map. So with the help of this statement, basically we are restating these three conditions, because in the first point we have written all the ones must be covered. So here also we have written all the ones must be covered. We have to find minimum number of terms. Here also I have written minimum number of PIs, but here we have replaced the term with the prime implicants. So the third condition is automatically covered here. So this statement is basically equivalent to these three conditions. So basically these three conditions and this statement are equivalent. So uh, so we can find the minimum or simplified expression using this term. Okay, also we have written this prime implicant theorem. What is the statement of this theorem? A minimum sum is basically a sum of PIs. This is the statement. In other words, we can also say that a minimum sum cannot contain a term that is not the PI. So whenever we find the minimum expression, then that minimum expression will consist of only the PIs. Okay, so minimum expression cannot contain a term that is not the prime implicant. What is the meaning of this theorem? That whenever you will find the minimum or simplified expression, then in that expression every term will be prime implicant. there cannot be any term that is not the prime implicant. So this is the theorem. Also related with the essential prime implicants, we have stated one rule: EPIs must be included in the minimum expression. So this is also uh, one important rule, that whenever you will find any essential prime implicant, then it must be included in the minimum expression. Okay. Okay, so also when we find the essential prime implicant, then we have stated one theorem, that if a given minterm and all of the ones adjacent to it are covered by single term, then that term is called an essential prime implicant. So this is one theorem that is related to how to find the essential prime implicant. Based on this statement, if any min term and all the adjacent one or don't cares can be covered by a single term, then that term is called the essential prime implicant. So this is one important theorem that is related with essential prime implicant. After that, in previous lecture, I have given one algorithm how to find the essential prime implicant. So basically this is the theorem. We have already studied this theorem. So these are the steps in this algorithm, that how to find the essential prime implicant. So according to this approach, we will choose a minterm which has not been yet covered. That means we will randomly choose anyone on the K-map. After that, in second step, then we will find all the ones and x's that are adjacent to that minterm. Okay, so if a single term covers that minterm and all of the adjacent ones and x, then that term is called the essential prime implicant. Okay, so we will repeat these three steps. We will choose a one and that has not been covered, and then we will find the neighbors of that one, and then we will find whether this one and its adjacents are covered by single term or not. Okay, so in this way we can find all the essential prime implicant. Okay, so after finding all the essential prime implicants, what we will do? For the remaining ones, we will find the minimum set of prime implicants which cover the remaining ones on the map. So basically this is the approach in order to solve any K-map. Okay, firstly we will find all the essential prime implicants with the help of these steps. So basically, if you will carefully observe this algorithm, then you have to remember two things. First, how you will decide that from which one we have to start. So there is one uncertainty in this algorithm, that how you will choose a one. You can randomly choose any one basically. Okay, also in the last step, what we are stating, that for the remaining ones we have to find the minimum set of prime implicants that cover the remaining ones. So also in this step, there is no certainty. Okay, so you will, for the remaining ones, you will find the prime implicants, and then you will select minimum set of prime implicants that will cover the remaining ones. Okay, so we will try to do few examples based on these previously studied concepts. Okay. Okay, so just suppose this is our given K map. This is our given K map. Okay, so we can write 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. Okay, so basically we will apply this algorithm in order to solve uh, K map questions. Okay, so so firstly we have to choose a one, so we can choose any one here. So just suppose I am choosing this one. So what are the neighbors of this one? These two positions are vacant. This is one neighbor and one possible neighbor will be here, that means this. So this one and this one, these are the neighbors of this one. So can we cover these two neighbors by using single term? Easily we can cover by this. Okay, so this is the essential prime implicant. Do remember. Okay, for the remaining ones, so for the remaining one, again we will follow the same procedure. For this one, what are the neighbors? This is the neighbor, this is the neighbor, this is the neighbor. We cannot cover these three neighbors by using single term. Okay, so we cannot get any essential prime implicant based on this main term. Now we will look at this one. So for this one, this is the neighbor, this is the neighbor, this position is vacant, this position means this position is also vacant. So these two are the neighbors. So these two neighbors can be covered by the single terms. Yes. So based on this approach, firstly we have selected a one and then we have checked the neighbors of that one. If it is covered by a single term, then that term is called the essential prime implicant. We will repeat these steps for until all the essential prime implicants are not chosen. So in this question what we are doing, so these two terms are essential prime implicants. So after that there is no remaining ones are there. Okay, so we will not follow this step for the remaining ones because there is no remaining one. So what is this term? Basically this term is basically CD and this term is AD. Yes, AD. So what will be the minimum expression? AD plus CD. Okay. Similarly, we will follow the approach for this question. So we will randomly select any one. Okay. So just suppose I am selecting this one. Why we are selecting one? Because we have to find all the essential prime implicant. Just suppose I have selected this one. So this is the neighbor. Here no neighbor. Here no neighbor. This is the neighbor. So these two ones are the neighbor of this one. These two neighbors can be covered by the single term. Yes. Again we will select a one and we will observe the neighbors of that one. Okay, these ones are already covered. So just suppose I am selecting this one. So these two neighbors are vacant. This is the neighbor, this position, this means this. So these two are the neighbor of this one. These two neighbors can be covered by this term. So here also after finding all the essential prime implicants, there are no remaining ones. So again we will not follow this step. For the remaining ones we will find a minimum set of prime implicants that will cover the remaining ones. So these two terms are basically are the essential prime implicant. So here we have already written here f equal to x z dash and x dash z. Okay, so now we will look into this third example. Okay, so in this example 0 0 0 1 1. Okay, so for this question what we have to do, we will select a one. Just suppose I am selecting this one. What are the okay, so just suppose I am selecting this one. So what are the neighbors? This is the neighbor, this is the neighbor, and this neighbor is absent, and this neighbor means this is also absent. So these two are the neighbors, but we cannot cover by single term. So okay, so for this one, these two are the neighbors, but we cannot cover these two neighbors using a single term. So this one or min term or this min term will not give any essential prime implicant. Okay, so now just suppose I am looking for this one. So what are the neighbors? These two positions are vacant. These two neighbors are not. This position means this neighbor, this is the neighbor, and this position means this is the neighbor. So these two are the neighbors. These two are the neighbors of this one. So can we cover these two neighbors using a single term? Yes, we can cover. Okay, so this term is basically essential prime implicant. Okay, so again we will find the other essential prime implicant if possible. Okay, so this is the one. If I choose this one, because this one is not giving any essential prime implicant, so I will focus on this one. So what are the neighbors? This is the neighbor, this is the neighbor, this is the neighbor. So there are basically three neighbors. So these three neighbors cannot be covered by a single term. So this one will not give any essential prime implicant. Also for this one, this is the neighbor, this is the neighbor, this neighbor is absent, here means here is neighbor is absent. So these two are the neighbors of this one. Okay, so we cannot cover these two neighbors using a single term. So this one will also not give any essential prime implicant. So there is only one essential prime implicant here. So what is corresponding to these four? That is y dash w dash. Okay, so there is only one essential prime implicant. Now what we have to do? Now according to algorithm, after finding all the essential prime implicant, for the remaining one we will find the minimum set of prime implicants that cover the remaining ones. Okay, so what are the terms? What are the prime implicants? Prime implicants means that an implicant that is having minimum literals. That means a term on K-map that is as big as possible. Okay, so for this one can be covered by this only two cube of two cells. Yes, this one can also be covered by this. These two are the prime implicants that cover this one. Okay, similarly if we look at this one can be covered by this prime implicants. Also it can be covered by this prime implicants. Okay, so can we say that this is the prime implicant? No, we cannot say that this is the prime implicant, because this is also a part of bigger Q. This is the prime implicant. Why? Because it cannot be a part of any bigger Q. This is also a prime implicant. Why? Because it is not a part of any bigger Q. Okay, so similarly this is also a prime implicant, but this is not the prime implicant, this is not the prime implicant, do remember. Okay, so this one can be covered by this prime implicant or this prime implicant. So the remaining ones can be covered by many prime implicants. We have listed here. So we have listed here that the remaining ones can be covered by these prime implicants. So from these prime implicants we have to select minimum number of prime implicants that cover the remaining one. Okay, so just suppose if I take the prime implicant that is having only two literals, which is YW. Okay, so in order to cover this one, we can select this prime implicant, but still this one, for this one we have to select either this or this. Yes, so totally we have to select one prime implicant with two literals and either this prime implicant or this prime implicant. So total number of literals will be 5. So what we can do, so in order to cover these two ones, we can select the this prime implicant. Yes. So what will be the benefit? So we will not select this prime implicant. We will select this prime implicant because it is covering these two ones. If we select this prime implicant, then this one is not covered. So this term will give 2 literal, this term will give 3 literal. So total 5 literals will be there. If we have to cover these two ones, so we can select a term that is consist of only 3 literals. So yes, this is the prime implicant, and and uh, and in order to cover these two ones, we have selected this. Now this one is remaining, so we can cover with the help of this prime implicant or this prime implicant. So this is the solution of this question. Okay. Okay, so again we will apply the our algorithm here. So we will choose anyone. In order to solve this question, we will choose anyone. Just suppose I am choosing this one. So what are the neighbors? This is the neighbor, this is the neighbor. This position means this is also the neighbor, this position means this is the neighbor. So all these two and these two, all are these neighbors. So can we cover this using single term? So this one is having 4 neighbors, all 4 neighbors are present. So in order to cover 4 neighbors, we need 2 raised to power 4 means 16 cells, cube of 16 cells. That means all cells we have to select. So basically it is not possible to cover all the neighbors of this one. Okay, so this one will not give any essential prime implicant. Just suppose I will look into this one. So these two neighbors are not present, this neighbor is present, and here this neighbor is present. So these two are the neighbors of this one. So basically this will give the essential prime implicant. According to algorithm, firstly we will try to find all the essential prime implicants. Do remember. So now these ones are covered. Now again we will try to find other possible essential prime implicant. For this one, these two neighbors are not present. This neighbor means this neighbor means this. So these two neighbors can be easily covered. So basically these two, these two terms are both are essential prime implicant. After selecting essential prime implicant, there is no ones are remaining. That's why we will not follow the last step. Okay, so for the last example also, if we directly do if we directly try to solve this K-map, then we can mistakenly select this. So you have to remember that we will always follow the procedure. Firstly we will find the essential prime implicants. After finding the essential prime implicants, then we will find the minimum number of prime implicants that cover the remaining ones. Okay, so just suppose I am choosing this one. You can select any one. That's why there is randomness in that algorithm. If suppose I am selecting this one, these two neighbors are not present. This is the neighbor, and here means here this. These two are the neighbors. These two neighbors can be covered by the single term. Also, you have to remember that if there are if there are two neighbors, then we need 2 raised to power 2 means a cube of 4 cell. If there are 3 neighbors, then we need 2 raised to power 3 means 8 cells of cube. Okay, if there are 4 neighbors, then in order to cover that all the neighbors, then we need 2 raised to power 4 means 16 cells of cube. Okay, do remember. Okay, so for these ones are covered. Now I will look at this one. So these two positions are vacant. This is the neighbor and this is the neighbor. So this neighbor is here and this neighbor is here. So these two are the neighbors of this one. Can we cover these two neighbors? Yes, easily we can cover. For two neighbors we need a cube of 4 cells. So basically here I have solved this question. So basically these two terms are the essential prime implicants. So if you look here in this algorithm what we are doing, firstly we will try to find all the essential prime implicants. Okay, in first 4 steps we will try to find all the essential prime implicant. After finding all the essential prime implicants, then for remaining ones we will find a minimum set of prime implicants that cover the remaining ones. If suppose we do not know the concept of essential prime implicants, then what we are doing for all the ones, we will find a minimum set of prime implicant that cover all the ones. If suppose we do not know the concept of essential prime implicant, then for all the ones we are doing this activity. This activity itself has some randomness, or you can say this activity is this activity consists of hit and trial. Why? Because we will find all the prime implicants and then we will choose the minimum set of prime implicants that cover the ones. So basically if you look here, firstly I have introduced the method that consists of these steps, that we have to cover all the ones with minimum terms and each term is having minimum literals. After studying the concept of prime implicants, this condition has been rewritten like this. We will find the minimum number of prime implicants that cover all the ones on the map. After studying the concept of prime implicants, we have restated these three conditions in form of prime implicants. Again, after studying the concept of essential prime implicants, what we are doing, we will find the essential prime implicant, then again we will follow this concept. Okay, so basically this algorithm also involves some randomness and you can say hit and trial. Okay, so that is for today's lecture. Okay, thank you very much.